I'd like to really quickly introduce our jazz performers of the hour. This is Kareem Jones Ali.
Hi. Thank you for having me perform for y'all today for Father's Day. And I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. And he forgot to mention, because he didn't want to seem like he's bragging, but he's only 15 years old. So that's some talent right there. Give it up. Young, gifted, and black. Thank you all so much for being here today. My name is Mariana Chazelle, and I am so honored to be your Master of Ceremonies today for the Strawberry Mansion Learning Center Father's Day Brunch and Fundraiser. We have a very, very powerful lineup of speakers today that I am so proud to introduce. Before we begin, I'd like to share my appreciation for Mr. Kevin for giving me so many beautiful opportunities to be of service. I met Mr. Kevin in 2017, which is now 7 years ago. My mom had caught his story in Lester Holt's Inspiring America segment on the nightly news. And the next thing that I know, we're at his door of the Learning Center asking, Mr. Kevin, how can we help? And from there, we basically took over the Learning Center during our weekly afternoon visits. And I'm sure at first we were not very popular when we turned off the computers and brought out the books and public speaking exercises. But Mr. Kevin was always so supportive of our ideas and encouraged us to continue our mission of empowering the youth of the center through improving their literacy skills and their public speaking skills. And since then, as a family, we've been committed to giving back to Mr. Kevin and the Learning Center however possible. During my freshman year of college, I was granted the Lang Center Social Impact Summer Scholarship to lead a no-cost summer program of reading, public speaking, tennis, and other activities for the Strawberry Mansion Learning Center students. And I am extremely excited to announce that we will be holding our first session of the Strawberry Mansion Learning Center Summer Camp next Saturday, June 22nd. Yeah. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The age group is 10 years old to 16 years old, and I really encourage you to sign up your children. It's going to be a lot of fun. For a quick preview, they'll be reading The Crossover by Kwame Alexander, develop the life skills of public speaking, and also get some outdoor time on the tennis court. Lunch and snacks will be provided, everything free of cost. Now, if you're anything like my parents and don't want to see your kids on TikTok all day, this is definitely the perfect program for you. And there is a QR code at your table. Should you want to scan it, it looks just like that. And sign up your children. I hope to see them there. And there is limited spots at 12 students. And now that we're past the advertisement, I'd like to kick off this program with a small excerpt of one of the father figures of the civil rights movement, Dr. King. And if it falls to your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Leontine Price sings before the Metropolitan Opera. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. And when you discover what you're going to be in life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. And just don't set out to do a good job. Set out to do a good job and do that job so well that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. If you can't be the pine on the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley. But be the best little shrub on the side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be the highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it is not by size that you win or you fail, but be the best of whatever you are. And to our fathers here today, thank you for being the best at what you do and who you are. And with that, I'd like to pass the stage to Miss Anea Hart with some remarks.
Morning, good afternoon. I really appreciate all the support that we've been given from the community, and as I look around the room, everybody here has been on the journey with us to develop a safe space for kids to learn and grow, which is the Strawberry Mansion Learning Center. a lot of times you get, really weary trying to do work in the community because you don't get a lot of support. But one thing I realized, the support only comes from God, and God always makes a way for you to do stuff if you're sincere. And, I think that the Learning Center is proof of that. I welcome everybody to come by the Learning Center to see the kind of work that we're doing. We have a lot of young people that we've helped, and they've helped us too. I also, I jumped the gun a little bit. I wanted to acknowledge some of the people in the room. I mean, it's a lot of folks here that's done a lot of things for us, but the Honorable Janie Blackwell is here. Always the councilwoman of the city. I thought she was my councilwoman, and because when I go to her office, she says, "Well, sit down. Like, what do you need? I got you." And that was always remained in my heart. Dr. Malefe Ashante from Professor from Temple University. Someone that I also admire who is charting the course to create an environment for young people to learn and to understand who they are so they can navigate through this world, because it's really difficult navigating if you don't understand what's going on. And I say that because I see a lot of people in this room who have helped me navigate. And I appreciate everybody and all that you've done. I could go on and on and on as I look around the room, but I only can say that the journey has just begun. I think that as long as we can stay together, support one another, we have to support one another, be there for one another. And when things get hard, you still have to be there and support and believe in one another and be honest with one another. And my wife, who has been my rock, she's somewhere around here doing some work, I'm sure. She's just been there for me throughout our entire marriage. And she reminds me all the time, slow up, you're moving too fast. This morning it was like, you got to move fast, get out of here. I was like, wait a minute, I want to get some more rest. No, you got to go. And I was so happy she did that because I was trying to get another hour. We have a wonderful and amazing board, people who support us. And the beauty of this is that there have been so many people who have worked with us who were board members, but they move on and they become advisors to our board. They never leave, and they continue to support us. And that's a good thing, because that says that it's what we're doing is good, and that's what we need. We don't need people to just leave. We need people to stay. We also have another guest all the way from Washington, D.C. I met him actually through Valerie Rust. She's a writer for the Daily News. And I was interested in this book that, once again, I'm going to say my old heads in the room turned me on 2 years ago. It was a book called The Choice by Samuel Yett. And so Valerie Rust realized I read The Choice, and she knew Samuel Yett. And she connected me with him, and we talked on the phone before. I never met him in person. But I met his son through Miss Rust, who is here with us all the way from Washington, D.C., Fred Yetts, with his wife. I want to get him to say a few things about the book, because I think the book is so relevant. I think it was banned at one time. It's called The Choice, and it helped me. And like I said, my old heads turned me on to it. I had it, and I said, this is something that I need to read, but my heart wasn't there, so I didn't understand it. So as years went on, I got back into it. I said, wow, they gave this to me 10 years ago, 8 years ago, and now this is so relevant now, So reading is power, and that's one of the things that I enjoy doing is reading. I've never been a great student, but books always took me where I needed to go. And, of course, having a great mom. And I want to also, my dad's here, who is my rock. He just looks at me and shakes his head sometimes. He said, what are you doing now? Where are you going now? Yeah, I said, Dad, I got to keep it moving. He said, all right, slow it down. Let's, keep your faith. And that's what we've been doing. I just want to bring you up for a second, if you don't mind, just to talk about The Choice a little bit, a few words. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Frederick Yett, and I'm happy to be here with my wife, Alicia, and spend our Father's Day with you. As Kevin said, I did meet him through email when Valerie Russ introduced us because she said, Kevin wants some books, if you can get them. And that book was a book my father wrote called The Choice, The Issue of Black Survival in America, back in 1971. And so that somebody still wanted to read that book was interesting. It was an honor. I know my father would be honored to know that somebody was still interested in what he did years ago. I'm not really going to talk about the book because I think this is being recorded and I have a good government job that I need to keep. So I can't really say everything I would say. And I also always say I'm speaking on my own behalf, not on behalf of my employer. But anyway, The Choice, the basic premise was black folks, you could be disposable in this society. And that was back in 1971. And if you look to see what's happening now, if my father were here, he would be writing about what's happening. He would be appalled about what's happening in our society right now. And all I can say is he would say, vote, because if you don't, we're in danger. Not just us, but our whole country is in danger. We have a so-called democracy right now. Come November, we may not even have that. So pay attention to what's happening and be wise. And I do want to thank Kevin for all that he's done. I was happy to provide him with copies of the book. I understand that he's doing great things for the young people of Philadelphia, and I'm so happy to be able to support that. And thank you for allowing me to join you. Thank you.